Sup guys, we're back with game 2. We have a diamond replay from Johnny B Good 101 on Reddit. He says, fake getaway pressure into Stargate, but random hatch blocked my natural. Should I stick to the Forge FE when going Phoenix? Perhaps be more greedy and more safe. The replay is 26 minutes. Hope it's okay, even though it's against the rule. According to the law, I love your stream. It's helped me a ton on ladder, and it's on you. No clue if that means anything. Nah, it doesn't mean that much. Doing Phoenix off of Gate Expand is totally fine. Yeah, usually when I'll do Phoenix off Gate Expand, it'll be, oh crap. It'll be into a robo. So if you don't do that, it might be a little bit harder. If you don't decide to robo. There's a way to do for Sky Toss off of Gate Expand, but it's just a little bit more tricky. And basically when they steal your hatchery or your natural, you need to make 2 Zealots in the Mothership Core to kill it. So when you see that he's drone scouting, just send a probe a little bit earlier and start your Zealot. That way when you're ready to take an expand, if he hasn't hatch blocked, you can cancel the Zealot. A little bit like a eBay block from Terran. So you see right now, like, you're not starting the Zealot. And that's like the big issue. And you're not sending your probe early on at the natural. So you scouted him. You saw... Well, you saw that he was expanding. So yeah, you're making the Zealot kind of late. And you're not making the Mothership Core. Okay, you're making the Mothership Core now. So yeah, 2 Zealots is what you want. So you're going for Forge, and then a gate, and then another gate. The Mothership Core is taking a little bit of time to go, alright. Yeah, really the lack of second Zealot is because if you have 2 Zealot in the Mothership Core, sometimes they're just going to cancel the hatchery because it's not worth it for them. But now this guy gets to have his creep set up. It's going to make things a lot harder for you. Okay, so you got a Stargate, you got the 3 gates, you got a cannon, which I don't know how I feel about. So, in this situation, I actually would have gone maybe Oracle instead of Phoenixes. Because, you know, Phoenixes, you kind of, oh, you're going to hide them. Then it might be okay then. Let's see. Let's take a look how you do things. Your question was, should I stick to Forge or could I be more greedy or more safe? Scouting the amount of bases and keeping track of his overall economy. That's a problem of yours. So we'll make sure to take a look at that. So you, if you're gonna hide the Phoenixes like that, don't go for the Overlords. Go for the Queens, and then go for the drones. Because right now you're just killing Overlords, and you're giving time to get the spores up. But if you go for the Queens right away, his production will be in shambles. That's a word, right? So that's a little tip for you. Because these days, people don't hide the first few Phoenixes. They just go with the first one. And so if you're gonna go back to the old ways, then just go for the Queen lift. And then there's always, like, you can always park yourself right here and lift the gases. Park yourself right here and lift the gases. Like usually Zerg should be, oh, you see you lifted too many and it's gonna cost you a Phoenix. Lift the drones one at a time. So your problem here is you've stopped probing and you have quite a lot of money. Oh, and actually you have 24 in the main, so it's always 16. I don't know if that's a mistake only this game, but it's something really important. 16 is optimal saturation, and so you'd have so much more probes at your third, and your economy would be much more even if you did that. So I'm not sure. Yeah, it's a 26-minute replay, so I'm assuming you want to expand. Take down the rocks already. Also, when you put down a cannon, try to put down the cannon a little bit more to the right, so you could have started taking down the rocks and expanding a little bit earlier. So once you have the robo, Like he's most likely gonna go into Hydralisk. Oh, actually he's doing Roach and Fester. Interesting. Well, you need to sort of figure out what he's doing. Like, you saw the Roach one, but... Like, even though you're going Phoenix, don't be afraid to send Hallucinated Phoenix and Scout behind the minerals. So, basically your third is just too late to me. And I feel like you're kind of taking the wrong one. Like, this position to defend is much easier than getting stabbed here or there. Especially if they're going for roaches, they can, and if they do tunneling claws, they can get out of control pretty badly. So your Phoenix is not being very active with them. So what you can do is you can like leave 3 of them here and 1 there. That way you can lift the drone that's gonna expand, and they don't get fungold. But yeah, just having them sit here in range of the watchtower is not the best. Wow, this guy doesn't... Wow. This guy with his fungals, man. Okay. So again, 24 here and 13 there. So you try to keep more track of your economy. You know, if you're a diamond player and you don't know this thing or how to fix this thing, it's gonna help you so much more. Because you'd be at optimal saturation over here, so you'd only need like 6 more for the gases. So going army wise, you're going for Blink. You had a bunch of Zealots because you had too much minerals. I'd rather you make Warp Prism. So I'd rather you fight for the towers with those Zealots. You see you have like 8 Zealots, right? So send 1 here, send 1 there, maybe leave 1 here, so you can see if he's coming to do like flanks and stuff, and then load the rest into Warp Prism, and then whenever you see him move out, send it in. Or if he's not moving out and you want to attack the 4th or whatever, send the Warp Prism and then attack the 4th. So you're going for Colossus, but you're not really going for it. Okay, now you're going for Colossus. So like for example, if you were to grab the Watchtower and clear a little bit of creep, he's going to prepare because you might attack, and then you send in the Warp Prism, you know? That sort of stuff. Because you have also, your Mothership Core should always be following your army, so what you want to do is grab the Mothership Core, right-click on one of your beefy units. So just the Immortal, Colossus. If it's early on, you can do it on a Stalker. And also having it on a control group is really good. Okay, so you're doing that now. So he knows that you're here, but you have nothing to scare him, like a Warp Prism or a Pylon with Zealots attacking his 4th. So those are the sort of things you need against Zerg. Because if you're just like, I'm here, and you've got nothing else to distract them, like playing versus Zerg to me is like a magic show. If there's no illusion, you're just gonna be a broke ass magician living on a couch. So you just went mass stalkers, which is good. You finally have the Watchtower. You should have a 4th. So the moment he has a 4th, you should start thinking about grabbing your 4th. The upgrades could be a little bit better. Wait. Oh, you're just doing long distance mining already? Okay, that's not bad. 76 workers, a little bit too much for me, but... So, right now what he's doing is he's throwing away units. Like, you need to recognize that when you're actually playing the game. When he's throwing away units, that's because he wants to remax on something. So he's probably going to pull back the roaches. Oh, this is really nasty. So, whenever they start doing that, just have the Stargates ready. Like, put down the Fleet Beacon and 2 more Stargates and start pumping Phoenixes. Because the only tech switch from throwing away this many units is either Swarmos or Mutas. And you already have the Colossus to beat Swarmos. So, yeah. This is going to be so hard. Well, actually... Wow, really? He has enough mutas to kill all your stalkers? Whenever you're attacking, you should have a pawn on somewhere. So, always think of that. Like, hey, I'm going to attack. What do I need? A pawn on. Ah, okay. And whenever you can't put down a nexus because of a borrowed zerglings, just start a pawn on and start a cannon right away. You want 66 workers on 3 base. Now, if you get an early 4th, then you can get more workers. But... yeah. So at this point you have a good army. The problem is, if this guy would have had better injects with like maybe 1 macro hatch, the zerglings would be an issue. So, like I said, to do more stargates and phoenixes. But since you didn't do that, then you should do archons. So either from the Dark Shrine or from the Templar Archive. Right. Like if you get an early 4th, you can go for like 70 workers, but like if your natural is if your main is mining out, then you don't need more. Like let's just take a look at how many workers are mining here. So you see this is like a full saturation, but then yeah, there's just really too many workers. Your army is going to be too small basically. Oh, you like didn't have... oh, you had the observer, but you didn't look? Oh. Basically, if you're like playing versus someone that's going mutas, and you're not going Phoenix, you have to always be pressuring. Otherwise, it's just going to spiral out of control, and you're going to struggle quite a bit. So, this is a good example of what I'm saying. Because they have much better mobility, and because the mutas are faster than they used to be in Wings of Liberty or whatever, Storm doesn't... it's really hard to hit the Storm on some mutas. Oh. You're gonna say fuck it and just attack? Oh, but then you have the Immortals for the Ultras, so yeah, you should win this game. Right? Like, you have so many, I wouldn't have killed the 3rd. I would have gone at the natural, because all of his remax is coming out from the main and the natural, and, like, maybe the macro hatch is going to be in the main. And so if you sit here, all the rallies are going to have to come out, and then you can kill it as they come out. Now, killing the 3rd is not bad, because, you know, it has more minerals than the natural, but like really the remax is the issue, not his economy at this point. So you just gave him a lot of time. If you would have parked yourself here, I would have bet money on you. Like, go! Ah! You see, you're just like going back and forth between nothing. And now you just gave him time to have 6 ultras, 7 ultras, and a lot of links. And you only have two archons for all those zerglings as well. Yeah. I mean, at this point... oh, he's gonna go broods. 1 brood lord. This is a close game. You still have some economy left. Yeah, really. If you would have sit there, he would be sitting on 2 ultras. I think you just dodged the inevitable... yeah. Or you're not focus firing with the Immortals. They're just attack moving. And so the Ultras are not dying. And then the Ultras could have died very quickly. Yeah, I mean, winning this battle could have been possible if you like stutter step back and forth and made sure to focus fire, like pull back, right click, pull back, right click, pull back, right click, pull back, right click. Even though some of the Archons or some of the Stalkers don't get to attack every time you're like pulling back and stutter stepping, the Ultras would have died really quickly. Like, we're talking 7 Ultras versus 7 Immortals. You can easily one-shot with the Stalkers an Ultra, I think. like actually before we end this replay review. So basically versus mutas, always pressure. Your third too late. Your third too late. No Warp Prism. No Zealot 1 to the fourth. Clearing creep was a little slow. I mean, if your Mothership Core has full energy, that's probably a bad sign of that you should be doing more creep clearing, and then if you get Fun Gold or whatever, you can always recall. So if your Mothership Core is full energy, just try to be more active, and then Warp Prisms, and then just Zealot 1 and then let's test it out, actually, even though he's not going to be attacking. So with all of what you have, if I put myself as the Protoss, can I one-shot an Ultralisk? See, you can almost... You see, you would just have to stutter step back. So... And that way, like... That way the... Stop. That way the Zerglings, they don't get like a full surround. And the Ultras... The thing about the Ultras is they're really slow at attacking. And they're really slow at attacking, and that way if you like keep running, they keep trying to attack, but they don't really attack, if that makes sense. So yeah, thank you for submitting a replay, Johnny. I forgot. It's Johnny Be Good. Thank you for submitting a replay. I hope this was helpful, guys. It was game number 2. We'll be back with game number 3 in just a bit. Stay tuned.